What's up everyone and welcome back to another ladder story featuring Artosis. Today's game is a Terran versus Zerg. Artie's spooling here in the top position on this two-player map, and he is playing against Gucci Zerg, who is obviously somebody of very high fashion. Or maybe not, it's just a guess, just a hunch, you know, one of those things. So we are doing a game on Jane Doe, one of the new ladder and ASL maps. Lots of people actually have been vetoing this map, so it's not one that is being played on very much, but it was nice to find one where Artie's playing on it. You've got this neutral little marine medic, and obviously the players don't spawn in these colors so that we don't get confused, but it's kind of just a ramp blocker, right? I don't think that this is your exit. I think this is the back safe expansion, and then you move out this way, but I must just double check. Like I said, it's new for me, and I do enjoy learning the new maps in real time instead of kind of pre-rehearsing what there is to expect. So guys, Artosis has been going nuts lately, bro. He's been playing mech, he's been going nuke, he's done everything except make Valkyries. And he did actually make Valkyries in a game of his that I watched, but it was not like a Valkyrie build, if that makes sense. It was more of a Valkyries added in response to what was going on, but he's done battle cruisers, he's done so many cool, interesting, wonderful things. So it's making his games awesome. And I think this Zerg, by the way, has been totally derailed by this map because his timing on his hatchery is hopelessly late. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably the first time he's ever played this as well. Because Artosis is just expanded here at the back, right? So there's nothing, this is still blocked off. And he's gone and done a command center back here. And this Zerg has not done the same thing. So he's not gone down here to expand and take a hatch. He's actually killed the entrance to his ramp in order to be able to expand. So I don't think our friend Mr. Gucci Zerg knows what's going on this map, or he's got some other weird, wonderful plan that is not yet apparent to me. So because you've got this protection, right, you can't get up here unless you kill this yourself as the Zerg, you get like a little wall in here. So I think Artosis is going to have plenty of opportunity to block this. Here we go. So this is some of the nuance attached to this map, which is freaking weird. Okay, so it does let him in. And I think he's going to go scout. It is a two-player map, so you kind of know what you're up against. It's going to see that he's expanded to the sort of more traditional natural spot, and he's put a hatch in base. Why? You can expand down here, bro. I don't get it. What is going on? I'm not going to say too much in case I look silly and I'm assuming something about this map, but if Artie's got an expansion out the back door here, then why wouldn't the Zerg spawning position have the same? He's going factory, guys. So we have Mechtosis again. This is becoming a thing. He's pretty much going mech exclusively for the month of February. So every February 2026 game of his that I'm casting, he is meching it up. He did go exclusively Goliath in a game, and that didn't work out too well. He didn't pivot into vessels when his opponent went mass mutas. Let's see if he's actually learned anything from that experience, obviously depending on what his Zerg opponent chooses to do in today's game. The other important part of this build is to still get your turrets up on time. Although this guy has taken so long with his build that their mutas are still absolute miles away. So Artosis has gone in, he's scouted this, he's seen what he's up against, and now does see the links pop up. I wonder if he's going to try and go back here to show like, hey dude, you know you could expand here, right? Well guys, maybe in the comments let me know, are Zerg not supposed to take this base until later on in the game? Is it like is that sort of some of the meta that's been established in this particular map? I would love to know your thoughts on that. We're getting a Hydra Den, so this is going to be a lurker build. So I think Gucci Zerg wanted to do some dirty stuff. He was killed here. Maybe he got a whiff of the Hydra Den. I'm not sure. We will see very soon because we have a vulture. It's going to be harder to break up this little rampy if you are a Zerg. And of course he's now potentially going to be able to lay mines. He's getting his eBay, he is getting Goliath. So Looks like he's still assuming it's going to be Spire. He's made a Hydra Den. And now he's making Spire, so he's mind gamesing Artosis. But the funny thing is, it might backfire because Artosis is playing Goliaths, which are going to do more than fine against the Mutas. So yeah, now I actually don't know even what to think. This game is weird. It's got a lot of lings that aren't going to do much of anything against Vulture Goliath. And I'm having a tough time interpreting what on earth is going on in this game. That Muta's gonna die. I mean, that Muta, that Marine. And he's just run straight in the front door. Hi, how are ya? So it does get a full scout on what he's up against, and does see that it is Goliaths. And this bunker does finish. Some Marines pop in there. And that's going to be the end of that ling harassment. And didn't achieve a whole bunch of anything, except probably got the good scouting intel. Making a lot of Mutas, so he made a Hydra Den, mind games. He's not making anything with the Hydra Den. Has expanded now to this back position. So you tell me if you knew it was there all along or not. I don't know. Perhaps he wanted to deliberately show the Hydra Den as a part of his trickery and mind gamery. I don't know. But Artosis is making a starport already. So he's got a double armory as well. This is definitely a variation to what he's done in the past. The game that I did of his against Striker, he literally just made Goliaths and nothing else. Here he's making a very early starport, which is telling me he wants to include vessels in the composition. And vessels against this mass mutalist response is very, very strong. So our first turret muta engagements are happening, as well as our Goliaths, who don't yet have Charon boost, I dare say. It's also got an academy here, so he's got opportunity to build scanners. He can pivot back into bioscience vessels on the way. Yep, so he is going into vessels here, and the irradiates are definitely going to be telling as we get into the middle of this game. Our Zerg is just kind of hatching and macroing up here while enjoying a little bit of map control from the Mutas. And Artosis is just pumping out Goliaths, getting his upgrades. A vessel will be forthcoming. Probably going to struggle a little bit with gas, and I don't mean farting, for what it's worth. Obviously, vessels are a very gas-expensive unit. Getting siege mode. I'm just going to assume that he's already got Charon boost, even though I find it quite difficult to tell at times. So the siege mode tells me he's going for vessel. He's going to get some tanks. So he's going to do a combination, and I think this composition for mech is devastatingly scary. And it also forces Zerg. Zerg cannot simply mass mutas up against this. It doesn't work. You're going to have to blend in Hydras and Queens and get some Hive tech. Otherwise, Terran is pretty unstoppable here. So I really, really like that Artosis has adjusted, where he was just going a bit maniacal with Mass Goliath, into this composition mixture. I think this composition is going to serve him really well. I don't necessarily think this is map specific that he's doing this on Jane Doe and Jane Doe only, because I've seen him mix this build in all the maps that he's playing on currently. But I like that he's constantly adjusted this build based on the results from his previous matches. And I like that I've just been fortunate enough to land a whole heap of his games where he's going mech. So that's been really, really cool. So more and more turrets, which should just slow down these 10 meters. Getting speed for the vultures, a couple more factories, getting mines. So mixing in vultures here as well. Vultures definitely have a part to play, particularly in laying mines to trip up any lings when we get to the crackling part of the game. And just to fight with the lings if the lings want to try and dive on top of the tanks and the Goliath. So this is a full factory composition, where you will use a sprinkling of tanks, lots of Goliaths, a couple of vultures, and of course science vessels. First one is on the way. Irradiate is being researched. I really, really like this build. I think this build will become something that Artosis perfects and enjoys a lot of success with if he continues to tweak it and practice it and use it and build some confidence with it. So our Goliaths are moving out onto the field. I think now is time to press. Our Gucci Zerg is somehow ahead in supply, which is scary, but it kind of makes some sense because Artosis has prioritized tech and he's prioritized upgrades. I do think, though, with the amount of bases he's got and the amount of workers he's got and the amount of factories he's got up to, he should be able to reduce the supply deficit and swing the pendulum back the other way pretty quick. Only on 45 drones. It's amazing what can be achieved with so few drones, relatively speaking. So more and more turrets being made. A couple of tanks. More upgrades. Really nice catching this drone transfer here. Picking up 8 drones there. That was excellent play. And as I mentioned earlier, the man's vulture awareness is definitely a strength of his game in all the matches. Still just making mutas here is our Zerg. Does not seem to have any sort of tech ambitions to go beyond layer tech for the time being. So we will see what happens. His supply is scaring me though. And I'm genuinely being very complimentary of Artie's build. I think this is a good build. But this is just so much. It's the longest mine drag in the history of mine drags. And eventually it resettled. Go figure. Alrighty, so is he going to fight with a supply deficit and lose? Or is he going to fight with a supply deficit and win? Or is he going to overcome the supply deficit? 4 more factories being made. So the first big trade out is going to be huge. Because after the first big trade out, I think Artie's capacity to re-max and replenish his army is going to be very strong. The vultures running around is buying him some time. And it's just mutas. That's all he's made. I think Artosis will spew if he loses to mutas. How many vessels do you have? 2. The irradiates are going to be massive. The irradiates will really dictate how the initial engagement goes. But this is it, boys and girls. We are just doing mass mutas. And here we go. Holy crap. Holy crap. At scan does see all the mutas. Supplies are getting closer and closer. I think that this Zerg has missed a trick. He had a chance to move and I think he took too long. But let's see. My prediction could just be absolute folly. Oop. Changes his mind. He's obviously got these on 2 or 3 control groups because he's moving them all really nicely. Adding in another group here as well. Okay, so he wants to move with absolutely all of them. These games are unreal to cast. They are so fun. This masses of units. Let's go, baby! The irradiates are real. The irradiates are real. Oh boy! The irradiates are real. So many irradiates. Oh, he lost all his units. He got absolutely crushed. He was ahead on supply and he just got absolutely scorched by science vessel irradiates. So lesson well learnt. If you watch the game against Striker, Striker did the exact same thing that this Zerg did, just made shitloads of mutas, and Artosis didn't make science vessels. And I said at the end of that game, Artosis science vessels would have made all the difference here. Obviously, he wouldn't have interacted back with me, but that was just my synopsis of the game. And I'm so happy to see a game where the Zerg tried the exact same thing. Artosis made vessels this time, and it made the huge impact that I felt that it would make. So a little bit of indication for Rabbit there. And now I have the pleasure of watching Artie stroll across the map and mollywop this fool. Although we are sending in some more mutas. We didn't learn our lesson first time round. Now, will we react though to Artosis being on our front door is the question. The answer is no. We're just going to try and counter-attack. Okay. This base is going to be gone. But it isn't really going to matter. Because Artosis has just got so much here. He can probably knock down pretty much all of the Zerg bases. Sending some Goliaths across here just to deal with this. Some more radiates. Radiates, bro. So good. So good. Drags the mutas back as well. The command center might even end up living if he can get a repair on it. Meanwhile, it's still moving in here. It's just got so much highly upgraded mechanical units to tear through the Zerg. Just the beautiful sound of dying mutas. Sound of dying drones. Music to your ears if you're a Terran fan. That was my first Jane Doe game, guys, and I really enjoyed it. I also love the tweak that Artosis made to his mech build. This is a build of his that I've seen him do a number of times, and this was probably the most convincing execution of all of them. And this was a lot of fun, guys. If you enjoyed this game, please do hit a like. Any feedback on the video, always welcome. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you soon.